Guys, this is just a quick video. I want to talk about the incompetency of the judiciary system, as well as the I don't even know what you would call it. What would you call the police system? Is that the judiciary system as well? I want to give you a quick story here because other people might be going through the same thing. And you know, I'm all about transparency. I'm all about bringing things out in the open. So I want to talk about the injustices of the justice system, okay? Now, I know a lot of you don't know my story, but I have 2 master's degrees in psychology. One is in psychology, marriage and family therapy, and then the other one is in health psychology, okay? When I was a kid, I lived in a really abusive situation, and I ended up running away when I was about 16, 17, and I ended up in a juvenile detention center. So literally at the mercy of the justice system. So I learned at a very young age how flawed the system really is, because I was, you know, the person being abused, but yet I was the person doing time for taking it into my own hands and escaping the abuse. Do you know how often this actually happens? That's why don't judge people when they tell you they've been arrested or they've been in prison or they've been this and that. I mean, you have to use your intuition, of course. There are people who commit crimes, you know, who are in these places, but there's also people who are just at the mercy of a very flawed, fucked up system, okay? Now, I want to give an example of something that just happened to me today, because I want to make some points. For anyone who's still under the illusion that there's anything normal or anything really functional about these systems that we're living under. The other thing I want to do is help people who can also relate so that they don't feel so crazy, because I haven't heard anyone talk about this particular situation. But I feel intuitively like this happens more often than anyone knows. And I actually think it's on purpose. I don't think it's an accident. See, I think there is, what is the word? Incompetency that runs amok in all of these systems. But I don't think this incompetency is an accident. Does that make sense? Because it's too fucking incompetent to be real, okay? No, people are not that incompetent, okay? It's designed to be incompetent for reasons, which I will explain. The last reason I want to bring this to the fore is because I want to discuss how that these systems, okay, meaning the judiciary, the government, many systems, the financial system, okay, the real estate system, all of this shit, the corporations that people work for, it is at such a ridiculous point that it literally has nowhere to go but down, but being destroyed. It is at the lowest, most deployable point that a system can reach, to the point of it no longer makes sense. It has actually become ridiculous, okay? And it really always was, but now it's at the point where the ridiculousness is so ridiculous that any moment now it's going to be completely wiped off the face of this earth by these divine energies that we are now receiving, okay? So let me explain what happened to me 2 years ago. In 2016, maybe it was end of 2015, I was pulled over for speeding, okay? I don't know how fast I was going, not crazy fast, okay? Maybe 12 miles over the speed limit. I think I was given a ticket for a 15 miles over the speed limit. Now, yes, that sucks. Yes, I think that it's fucking stupid, because I wasn't putting anyone in harm's way. There was like no one on this fucking road, okay? And I'm a careful person. I'm a considerate person. I'm a responsible person. Okay? I wasn't drinking. There was nothing like that going on. Every single human being speeds at some point to get where they're going in this world. Okay? I was pulled over. I was given a speeding ticket. Now, these speeding tickets are ridiculous now. They're like $300. Okay? But, thankfully, I had the means to pay my speeding ticket. I asked the cop, how do I do this in the easiest way possible? Because I don't like going into court buildings. I don't like dealing with that. It's a toxic environment and energy. And frankly, I believe that I'm above those environments. Okay? And I don't want to put my pure light physically into those places because it makes me sick. Okay? So I didn't want to go to the courthouse. And so I asked the cop how to rectify this in the easiest way possible. And he told me I could call the number that was on the ticket, but I had to wait about 30 days so that to give them the opportunity to get my ticket in their system. Okay? I can understand that. So I waited about 30 days, called the number on my ticket, and they could not find, it was an automated system, of course, because, why would it be a fucking real human person, right? And they could not find the ticket. So I gave them the record locator number on my ticket, and they could not find my speeding ticket. Therefore, I could not pay it. Now, I'm a really intelligent, rational person, so I said, okay, I'll just call back next week. I did this week after week after week for months, and they did not have my ticket in their system, okay? Now, I am a firm believer that the universe often provides miracles for me because I've seen it happen several times in my life. So I kind of, after a while, chalked it up to my ticket just disappeared from their system. The universe just decided to help me out, and the ticket got lost, okay? I never received anything in the mail, nothing. Months go by. The ticket is in my glove compartment of my car, and I forget about it because I'm busy like every other human being on this planet, right? So months go by, but 8 months go by. I get pulled over again, okay? I don't remember. It wasn't for speeding. It was for something else. When they pull me over, it's two cops. They're in a SUV, okay? And there's an older one and a younger one. And clearly the older one was the OG. He was the person who had, was more experienced because he took on the more dominant, aggressive, authoritative role in the situation, while the other guy was much younger. It looked like he was going through some training, okay? So he was a lot quieter and more reserved. They both approach my fucking car, my window. Now, does it really take two cops to approach you for some kind of minor traffic mistake? I think any normal person would be a little bit on the defense if they see these two cops coming up to your car. So I'm already very anxious and very, very on guard with these people, okay? They come up. Do you know why we stopped you? I don't remember, okay? I think I said no. They said something like maybe I was going a little fast, or I took a turn, or I don't even fucking remember what it was. It was something I did wrong on that road, okay? And I said, okay, here's my license, here's my registration, here's my insurance, okay? So they go back to their car, check everything, they come back. Now, the older, cockier one, he decides to approach me from a very with an aggressive tone, okay? He says, ma'am, do you know that you have a warrant out for your arrest? Like that, okay, very accusatory. Now, obviously, I didn't know that, okay? I've never had a warrant out for my arrest. I was in shock, and I was quite frankly, I was pretty fucking pissed just because of the way that he came at me with his words, you know, because you don't do that, okay? You need to ask me, ma'am, did you know there was a warrant, or just something? Be a little bit more humble. But the way he came at me already, I didn't like it. And I'm a very strong person. I'm a strong soul. I'm a light warrior. And I don't appreciate being treated inferior on a planet that I was fucking born on, okay? So I said to him, I go, what are you talking about? I said, I don't know what the hell are you, I don't know how I said it, but in a way that he didn't like, because he got a dose of his own energy straight back. And he said, ma'am, I'm gonna need you to step out of the car. I need you to step out of the car. So now I have to step out of the car because I talked to you the way that you just talked to me, okay? But, you know, what are you gonna do? They're the ones with the guns and the badges, right? So I have my 3 dogs in the car, by the way, okay? So that's why I was being a little bit more reserved once he told me to step out of the car, because my dogs are my babies, and I'm responsible for them, and I didn't want to scare them. So I got out of the car quietly, and he had me come back to their SUV. Now this is 2 grown men with guns and badges asking a woman who is by herself, unarmed, with 3 dogs, okay, to step out of the car and come back to their SUV, okay? So at this point, I'm shaking a little bit inside. I'm not gonna lie, okay? That's very unnerving and very disturbing. But I did it anyway. I walked over there, had my phone on me the whole time, and we were at, thank God, there was a gas station visible. So I remained visible to the road and to the people coming in and out of that gas station, because we were around the corner. And so they started asking me about this warrant that I clearly had no idea of. And he said, well, it's because you had an unpaid speeding ticket. And I said, oh, that? I tried to pay that for about 6 months. I called every week. They could not find my ticket. My ticket was not put in the system. Somebody did not do their job, okay? I said, I have the ticket in my glove compartment right now, but I just forgot about it, because after you try so many times and you have to go through this automated system and all this bullshit, you just get exhausted, and life is busy, so I forget. I'm sorry. I'm just not like 100%, you know, making it my life purpose to pay your fucking ticket. You know what I'm saying? Because I was going 15 miles over on a road where no one was even on. Wow, I'm sorry. I fucked up. I must be a criminal, and I must deserve to have a warrant out for my fucking arrest, right? So, of course, I wasn't saying it exactly like this to him, but that was the gist of how I was coming across. And I wasn't making apologies about it, because I am a good person, you know? I'm an outstanding person, actually, and I don't deserve to be treated like a criminal. So he was listening to me, and he kind of started to change his tone a little bit when he realized that not only am I intelligent and aware, but now I'm calling them out on why wasn't my ticket in your system so that I could pay it. Am I supposed to be responsible for putting my own fucking speeding ticket in your system and paying it? Do you want me to do your next shift for you as well? You know, that kind of thing. And so he said, you know, this is what you need to do. You need to go in the courthouse, talk to these people, go to the DMV, explain your situation. You might need to get a lawyer or call a lawyer in order to retain them, because now there's a warrant for your arrest. So this is now gone beyond just a simple paying of this ticket, okay? Now I have a warrant that I have to now deal with before I can pay the ticket, okay? Which is all I was trying to do in the first place. So I left there. He made sure to tell me that he could have arrested me right there and taken me downtown. He wanted me to know that, so that's intimidation right there. Even though I had my 3 helpless dogs sitting in a hot car, okay? Vegan stickers on the back of my car, so you know I'm an extra special criminal that loves animals and doesn't eat them, right? So, just it's asinine, you know. They're the criminals. These people are the fucking criminals, you know. I'm not saying every cop is bad. I actually know some really good cops, but they also know the system is fucked up and they don't talk to people like that. They have some respect for their fellow citizens because after all, aren't they supposed to protect and serve? So then after that, I left, you know. I was very upset, obviously. I have a warrant out for my arrest now, you know. So there's that intimidation factor that you have to now live with, thinking, what does this mean? What is, you know, who's someone going to show up at my door? Am I going to try to go do something and I'm going to get arrested? So I wanted to take care of that as soon as possible. So one of my friends suggested his lawyer. By the way, this guy has helped a lot of wealthy people in this area, okay? So I'm getting a high recommendation here. I contacted this lawyer. He said, no problem, we need to move fast. We need to get this warrant dropped first. So I don't remember how much the fee was. It was around $400 or $500, okay? This is not the ticket, okay? I thought, stupidly enough, that this was like for him to get the warrant dropped and to pay my ticket, okay? Because I'm thinking, what a rational thing like this should cost, okay? That was not explained to me properly. So I paid the $400 or $500, and he went. There was all these steps, okay? He had to do this or something. He wrote a letter. I don't even know. He went to court on my behalf. I don't really know exactly what happened, but all I know is then I was asked to pay another fee. And by this time, I'm so deep in it that I'm like, fuck, you know, I got to get this taken care of. So then he told me, if you don't go to online traffic school, this is going to go on your record, and obviously your insurance is going to raise and all this shit. Excuse me. So I went to online traffic school on a vacation I was on, okay? So now they're fucking with my vacation time because I'm literally like doing online traffic test, right? So after all this was submitted, I was told I was in the clear. I thought everything was good. The warrant had been dropped, I was told. And then I was also told, and then I was slapped with another bill by his secretary, not him. And the secretary asked for another $350 to $450. I don't remember all it was, but when all is said and done, this was over $1,000, okay? For a $300 traffic ticket for going less than 15 miles over the speed limit on a road where there was nobody else, okay? Now, you know, there were times in my life where that would have put me in the fucking poorhouse. I wouldn't have even been able to pay my rent the next month. I can't, and at that time, it was actually a struggle. Thank God I had the money. I was able to get through it. But it wasn't like it was easy on me financially, okay? Now, I think, and I told the secretary, I said, are you kidding me? Now you want more money? Like, that wasn't for the ticket itself? Like, you guys went to court and pled whatever you pled to get the warrant dropped. Like, I have 2 fucking master's degrees. I could have done that myself. I could have went in and represented myself. You know what I mean? Like, that's all he basically did. And while he was there, he did, you know, 20 or 30 others. So how much money is that? He does them all at one time, okay? So after that, I thought I was good. I was a little butthurt because that's a fucking shitload of money. You know what I'm saying? I had a little PTSD from the way that those cops treated me. But I thought that this was behind me, okay? Until today, December 4th, 2018. We're over 2 years later from this little situation. And I'm pulling in my neighborhood today. There's a four-way stop, okay, which is this is another problem. There's so many problems in this whole story, in this whole thing, okay? It's so fucked up from every single angle that you want to look at it. There's nothing normal or rational about any of it. So this cop is sitting parked like back in my addition, hiding. So basically fucking stalking, okay? Which is, I consider that to be an act of aggression, okay? These cops that hide, places, I just really don't understand what they're doing. Why aren't they sitting outside of bars doing breathalyzer tests? Why aren't they, fucking helping homeless people? I don't really know why they're sitting outside of a middle class or neighborhood hiding inside someone's addition at a four-way fucking stop. It doesn't make any sense to me. So I don't know. I have to pull up at that four-way stop and turn multiple times a day. And you get a little lazy when you're near your house, right? Because you know those roads so well. There was, again, no one around, so I didn't stop all the way, okay? I just kind of slowed down and then turned when it was okay to do so. And he saw me do that. So I get pulled over, okay, 2 streets away from my house. He asked me why I got pulled over. I didn't know, okay? I honestly didn't. So he told me that I didn't come to a full stop at the four-way stop. Okay, buddy. Here's my license. Here's my registration. Here's my insurance. Do you want some fucking blood while you're at it? Here's that. Whatever the fuck you have to give them. So then he goes, again, I have my dogs in the car. He goes to his car and he runs all my stuff, and he takes forever because they always take forever. And then I'm sitting there holding my dog, but I was really proud of myself because I'm so over and beyond this shit and this intimidation and this fucking ridiculous shit that serves no purpose and helps no one in the end. It's all for fees. It's all for money. It's all to keep people employed that we don't even need. And he comes back up and I'm just sitting there holding my dog and he's like, I have some good news and some bad news, okay? He's like, the good news is I'm not going to give you a moving violation. I'm going to give you a non-moving violation. So that's a lot less money. Oh, good. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Am I supposed to jump out and make out with you now because you gave me a non-moving violation instead of a moving violation? Because again, I hurt no one and I was on a street where there was no one, And really, how do you fucking know I didn't even make a complete stop, to be honest with you? You know what I'm saying? You were watching me that carefully that me slowing down and making a right-hand turn at a four-way stop where there's no one else, that you were able to discern that my foot didn't completely hit that brake 100% to come to a full stop. That's what your job is about. Okay, let's really break this fucking shit down. But of course, you don't want to say that. Because if you say that, then you're going to find yourself having to get out of the car and you might find yourself in handcuffs because you can't be more intelligent than the person with the outfit, right? You can't be more witty than the person with the gun, right? They just don't like that. They don't like their intelligence insulted. So I was like, okay, and what's the fucking bad news? Because that doesn't sound like good news to me. But okay, in your world, if you think that's good news, thank you. I'm so grateful for you. And then he's like, and the bad news is, and he's petting my dog now, by the way, my little sweet, beautiful dog. He's petting her. He's like, the bad news is, and I'm making him sound a lot worse than he was. Trust me. He made those other 2 fucking assholes that stopped me 2 years ago, he made them look like cretins, okay? He was a lot nicer and a lot more polite than they were, okay? I feel like they should be fired for sure and put away somewhere. Or at least that one guy, not the guy that was training, but the guy that spoke to me. So he was petting my dog and then he goes, your license has been suspended since 2016. I go, what? Like, can you imagine my surprise after paying $1,200 and going through all of this shit 2 years ago? I'm now being told again that the status of my license is suspended. I bought a car online 3 months ago. Nobody caught this. I've renewed my registration 2 times. Nobody caught this. I pay car insurance every month. Nobody caught the fact that my license has been suspended for 2 years. I'm sorry if I am being very adamant, but I need people to wake the fuck up and realize how crazy and asinine this place is. I was like, what the hell? I told him the whole story. He was like, well, you're obviously pissed off and I don't blame you. He's like, come back. And he invited me to come back and look at his screen in his car and see where my license says suspended, and it does. Okay? So he gave me a non-moving violation. He said it's not going to go on my license or anything. He told me that what I need to do to see about this suspension. Okay, that's obviously an error that didn't get taken off. Because of the on purpose incompetence. Okay? Look at all the money that they made because of their fucking incompetence. Look at the headache that they are causing me because of their incompetence. And this is not just me. This is every fucking human that lives on this planet, unless somehow you are in on the corruption and therefore exempt somehow because you have favors being done for you, and that does happen too. Okay? Don't think for a minute that doesn't happen, because I've actually seen people show me a card that they have where they cannot be arrested because they were in the military or they were something where the laws don't apply to them, right? The laws they're above the law. Well, guess what? The universal laws apply to everyone. And the universal laws are always just. And this shit is about to end because it's gotten to the point of there is no more, it cannot get more corrupt. It cannot get more ridiculous. Okay? It's at its furthest point of ludicrosity that can exist. So that's how I know that it's about to crash. And that's why I'm going to make another video explaining how we're on the eve, coming upon the 12/12 portal, and the winter solstice on the 12/21 of this month, and how those energies are going to break open the rest of this fucking these disgusting systems that have held humanity in slavery for way too long. But I just want to explain this for people who think, oh, only black people are treated this way, or minorities are treated this way by the cops, or this or that. No. It infiltrates everyone. That's what we need to understand. Okay? No one is exempt unless you are in on it. And if you choose not to be, and you choose to be a true person, an honest person, okay, and you choose not to police your fellow beings and whatever, limit them and all the injustices that are done to people, and you choose not to be a part of that team, then you've had injustices done to you. Okay? This is not my first story like this. I've been arrested before for something that was not my fault. In fact, again, I was the victim. I've been arrested twice, actually. When I ran away when I was 16, and just like 6 years ago for something that wasn't my fault. So I know firsthand how this feels. And it's dark, and it's wrong, and it's coming to an end. And I just want to put this out there for people who may feel like they're crazy because something like this happened. I believe that sometimes they purposely don't put your tickets into the system so that you will forget, and therefore you will have to face these warranties, suspensions, and fees, because they can make a lot of money by doing this to normal everyday people who are just trying to exist, basically.